Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 163 of Hobby Quick Hits, which is going to be a wrap-up of at least the regular season of Major League Baseball, but with a hobby spin to it. Going to talk about the years some guys had or didn't have. We're going to go back and kind of revisit episode 149, which was my Major League Baseball preview show where I picked playoff teams and award winners, and we're going to review that and see how bad or accurate I was. And so we're going to kind of just wrap up. I know it's still going on, the postseason, best time of year, Major League Baseball postseason, but we're going to kind of just put a little bow tie on the season as it winds down.
Okay, now a quick word from our great sponsor, followed by the new product release schedule. Then we'll go around the Hobbyverse to tell you all the latest hobby happenings and news. Then we'll tackle today's topic of discussion.
MojoBrakeShop.com is the best place to get your sealed wax products and brakes. They not only have the best selection, but the best prices. Whether it's a box or a whole case, they are your guys. They ship worldwide to your doorstep. Their reputation as one of the most trusted in the hobby goes unmatched. They are the 2021 Topps Rip Party Champion Breakers. From sports card to Pokemon cards, their selection can't be beat. They offer daily deals and pre-orders.
Hey guys, John Newman here. Mojo's prices are already great, but to save an additional 10% off anything in their store, use the code QUICKHITS. That's QUICKHITS. Check out the full service store that's open 7 days a week in Santa Clara, California, or the website at mojobreak.com.
Let's check out this week's Hobby Wax releases. Take it away, Max.
Hey guys, it's Max from the Sports Card Shop in New Buffalo, Michigan, bringing you guys, and of course Valparaiso, and bringing you guys the weekly releases for the next 2 weeks here from the Sports Card Shop. Starting off on the 11th, we have 2023 Bowman Chrome University Football, 2023 Panini Select Baseball, 2023 Topps Update Series Baseball, Hobby, and Jumbo, 2022-23 Upper Deck Allure Hockey, and 2023 Topps Update Series Baseball, Hobby, and Jumbo. Alright, on the 13th, we're starting off with 2023 Panini Gold Standard Football, 2023 Panini Chronicles UFC. On the 18th here, we got 2023 Topps Chrome McDonald's All-American Basketball, 2023 Upper Deck AEW Allure Wrestling, 2023 Topps Pro Debut Baseball, Hobby, and Jumbo, 2023 Gilded Collection Baseball, 2023 Upper Deck Ice Hockey, 2023 Topps Stadium Club Baseball. And on the 20th, we have 2023 Panini Donruss FIFA Women's World Cup Soccer Hobby Blaster. Thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Let's go round the Hobbyverse and catch up on this week's hobby news.
All right, let's a lot of Panini news in the pipeline for this episode. Let's knock that all out. Let's start with their recent NIL signing. Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton III will be added to their stable of exclusive athletes along with others. And as the hobby landscape eventually changes, although Fanatics is trying to change it ahead of time, these NIL players that Panini's inking are going to be very crucial to their continued success, which frankly I'm hoping for as someone that knows people who work there, great people who work there, full disclosure. Also along those lines, we know the attempt by the NFLPA and the WWE to cease and desist on the contract that they have with Panini with 2 years left. Well, an arbitrator in both of those cases has ruled in Panini's favor. So for the time being, Panini can continue to make WWE and NFL products, so she shouldn't see any halt in that at this point. But again, these court battles continue, and there'll be more to come along those lines. We'll have Paul Lesko on Sports Card Nation here in a few weeks, kind of to give us an update of the legal terrain there. Panini also signed a multi-year deal with the EuroLeague, a basketball pro league. Not as talented as the NBA. Obviously, but right there, where some players do come from the EuroLeague. So again, Panini knowing kind of what's coming down the line is sort of getting their ducks in the row with some new deals with leagues and NIL individual athletes, and good to see they're trying to think one step ahead. So tops who like to pick on or fanatics who like to pick on Panini and said that they want the contracts to stop because of mistakes they were making, or they breach a contract. Bad luck for them, because they just screwed up in the 2023 Bowman Chrome product, where 101 super refractors were multiple printed. They are trying to rectify the situation with buying back the extra prints for significant amounts of money, from anywhere from $3,000 for the card that they mistakenly multi-printed to $75,000, depending, I guess, on prospect level. And that would be my question to fanatics: is why is one double printed card worth $75,000 and the other only $35,000 or $3,000? Is it solely based on the prospect and trying to pry that from getting someone to sell that rather than keep it and have the error be in rotation? And the obvious thing is they're not going to be able to buy all these cards back. Product, people say product. I'm looking at my wax shelf right now. I have boxes, sealed wax boxes. Some people sit on sealed. So all these may not see the light of day, at least right away. So they're not going to be able to clean up this mistake fully. And I think they're just trying to do as much damage control with these buybacks as they can. I've been asked if this has ever been happened before where they've bought back errors. Not to my knowledge, where there's a monetary price. We've all seen errors where they've made corrective cards, but the errors are still out there. The Billy Ripken bad word bat comes to mind. But they didn't buy, Fleer didn't buy them back. They just made 14 different corrected versions, which created a chase in itself for each version. But this is the first time I'm aware. And someone, if I'm wrong, someone send me the correction. But the first time a company has paid for their mistakes to get them off the market. CGC and Mascot have announced a partnership where you can get your cards graded through CGC and then streamlined to be listed for sale via Mascot on multiple selling levels. So Mascot is starting to create relationships in the marketplace, which is, obviously important for them to survive. And our last story is, and you can see this one sort of coming, Lids, Fanatics, and Mitchell & Ness have combined to create a hat and card product. So they're Major League Baseball hats with the team logo, kind of unique color schemes, and on the sides of the packs, or the sides of the hat, I should say, are an embroidered pack from the vintage era of Topps. It also comes with a commemorative pin, which you can keep on the hat or remove, and every hat comes with a pack, a Lids pack. It's a 50-card set. They have parallels and numbered cards, including 101 and autos, and they're producing 97,000 packs. You get one card, or I should say one pack, three cards, I believe, in the pack. You get one pack with every hat purchase. I believe hats range from $37 to $45. So, we know Fanatics owns lids, and so they are incorporating their businesses. And again, as they said, they're trying to grow the hobby by tenfold. So here's one of those sort of attempts to mass market, the hobby to maybe someone just looking to buy a baseball cap.
And now, our feature presentation.
All right, let's kind of wrap up the 2023 Major League Baseball hobby season, if you will. I know we're in the postseason right now, and it's ongoing, and some more heroes can be made during this postseason. But, it's winding down. It was a great year. We've seen some incredible performances. Let's kind of merge this hobby and the sport itself and do a wrap-up. I did a preview show, as I said in the intro, on episode 149. And let's go over those picks and kind of see sort of where I got it right and where I got it wrong. So in those picks, I picked these 6 playoffs teams from both leagues, and I batted about 500 here. So let's go over those, revisit those. In the American League, I said it would be Toronto, Minnesota, and Houston winning the division, with the Yankees, Seattle, and Cleveland winning the wild cards. So I did get, not as division winners, but I did get Toronto, Minnesota, and Houston right in the playoffs. The Yankees had a terrible year. They're looking at some probably changes here in the offseason. Seattle, who I picked, just missed. So I wasn't that far off with my Seattle pick. And Cleveland wasn't terrible. Not a great year, but not terrible. So half right there. Also half right in the National League. Let's go back to what I said or what I thought would happen. I picked for division winners. I was a homer and took my Mets, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the San Diego Padres. For wild cards, I took the Dodgers, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. And again, kind of similar deal. I reversed, though. The wild card teams that I took did make the playoffs, with the Dodgers and the Braves winning their divisions, not wild card teams, but winning the division. And I had Philly right, making the playoffs. My Mets imploded, as did the Padres, and St. Louis had one of their worst years in a long time. So I was way off on my divisions, but I'm still, I still feel good that I got half of the playoff teams right, although you probably should. Now that I think about it. Going back to that episode, I said teams to keep an eye out on. In the American League, I said the White Sox. That was not a good pick, although my Lewis Robert pick for bounce back looks like a great pick. And I love Lewis Robert. Big year from him. He'll get some MVP votes, or he'll be in the mix. And, it's one of those cautionary tales when everyone sort of panic sells when somebody gets hurt. Another team I said to watch at the beginning of the year was the Baltimore Orioles. And we see where they are. They won the AL East and look like they're built for some long-term success. They have some great young nucleus. They got guys they still got a great minor league system, even with the young talent they have on the major league level. I mean, they got Jackson Holliday, who might arguably be the best prospect in baseball, who's not quite there yet, but maybe as early as next year. So Baltimore's going to be in this mix for a while, and good for them. I don't have a second favorite team, really, but they probably would be right there if I did, as far as that goes. On the National League side, I said to be on the lookout for the Brewers and the Reds. And the Brewers did make the playoffs, but they have been eliminated. Craig Counsell might be the next Mets manager. We'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. And the Reds, I said keep an eye on them, and they made an incredible run. They just fell short of the playoffs, but they look like a team that's up and coming as well. So kind of spot on with my keep an eye outs for. Let's go over my MVP picks. Now, they haven't announced any of the awards yet. That won't be done until a little bit later on here in a few weeks. But let's see. We kind of can see what who we think's going to win now that the season's played. But on that preview episode, I picked in the AL Yordan Alvarez, who actually played well when he was on the field. The problem was he got hurt for an extended period of time, so he will not be your AL MVP. Shohei will be in the mix there, among others. And my NL MVP pick will probably finish second in the voting. I think Ronald Acuna had one of the best baseball seasons in quite a while. I think Acuna wins the NL MVP. But Mookie Betts, who was my pick, I think will be the runner-up. So it wasn't far off, I don't think, with my Betts pick. Let's go to Rookies of the Year. Again, these have not been called yet, but let's see who I picked. And I think I got the National League right. I picked Corbin Carroll. He had a great year for Arizona. They made a threat and playoff run. I think Corbin Carroll wins, so I called that one. And I picked Tristan Casas in the American League for the Red Sox. He had a pretty good year. I don't know if he wins the award. We'll have to see. But I'm not down on that pick. I think he's going to be a player for years to come. My Cy Young picks weren't even close, even though I felt good about them, obviously, when I made them. And so in the American League, I took Dylan Cease. He went 7-9 with an over 4 ERA. Not a great year for the White Sox. They didn't get the pitching they needed to compete. So Dylan Cease will not. I didn't get that one right. And the guy I like a lot, who won it the previous year, I thought he would repeat. Corbin Burns. He didn't have a terrible year. Went 10-8 with a 3.39 ERA, but that's not going to get him the National League Cy Young this year. So he won't be defending his Cy Young title there. So swung and missed on those two picks, but that's the fun. We'll do these episodes, or we'll try to do these episodes each year, and then kind of come back and see if I honed my skills at all and got how close my picks actually were. But I tell you one thing that I'm excited about as a baseball fan and a collector is the great young talent we've seen really pick it up this year, and still more to come, like I said, with Jackson Hollidays and others. But let's talk about some young players that are doing some damage. We saw the emergence of Ellie De La Cruz for the Cincinnati Reds. Now, I'm a little cautious on him. He started to sort of kind of slow down on the second half of his season. I think pitchers started to figure out what he could and couldn't hit, and what kind of zones he was suspect on. And he struggled. I think he batted under 200 for the second half of the season. Now, had a great year overall, but just keep a tabs on him early in 2024 to see if he made any readjustments back to sort of strengthen his weaknesses to be a potential all-star. I'm a little bit cautious on him that maybe he just caught lightning in the bottle in the first half. I don't think he's a bust. I don't know if he's going to be what some people are pegging him as. It's baseball. I got to be a homer with my Mets here. A guy I really love. They become the baby Mets with a lot of the rookies, right? We saw the debut of Brett Beatty, Francisco Alvarez. And this guy, who was the last guy called up, who I think might be the best player of all those baby Mets, and that's Ronnie Mauricio. Kind of a 5-tool guy, an infielder. They got him some outfielder time. They know they want to have his bat in the lineup. And so I'm a big Ronnie Mauricio guy. I think he's going to be in it for the long haul. The Orioles, right? They were loaded for bear this year with young talent, and more in the pipeline coming. But, Gunnar Henderson, 28 home runs, 10 steals. Looks like he's going to be a major league player for a long time. Adley Rutschman, arguably one of the best catchers in baseball. Whether he stays at that position for the long haul, we'll have to wait and see. Again, Jackson Holiday coming. The Orioles and Mets probably have one of the biggest and best. I should say best, not biggest. They should all be about the same size, but best minor league farm system with talent in the pipeline to come. Jason Dominguez, I think, made his Yankees debut earlier than people expected and showed out pretty well. He got injured, but he should be fine. But wound up in a brief, cup of coffee, batting .258 with 4 dingers, double-digit ribbies. And so there's a guy to keep an eye on that, a lot of people kind of wrote off as just Yankee hype, but kind of lived up to it in a short sample size. And the guy who I think might be one of the best players in baseball, just not quite yet, but eventually I think he's on that track. He's a guy, when we talk about cards, that even though he's not necessarily cheap, I do try to acquire quite a bit of this guy, and that's Bobby Witt Jr. 30 for 30 season in his first full season as an everyday player. 30 home runs, just got to the 30 home run mark, but 49 steals. And this guy can play defense. Again, another 5-tool guy. Now, whether, Kansas City backs up the Brinks, he's going to get paid when his initial contract's up. If the Royals are smart, they'll lock him up and pay him money to have him there for the long haul, because he's the kind of guy people pay ticket money to go see. He's the kind of guy I would, I'm not a Royals fan, but I watch Royals game to watch him play. That's the kind of player he is. I'm a huge Bobby Witt Jr. guy. So, but the nice thing overall, a lot of young talent in baseball. Some have not even made it to the major league level yet. So there's more talent in the pipeline for a lot of teams, and it's going to, I think that's what baseball needs. I think they could market themselves better, but I think they're going to have the talent. If they market themselves better, I think they're going to be all set up for the next, good 20 years with some Major League Baseball young talent that's legit and real. And that's going to be fun. Because we had some years where, there's always young players. Don't get me wrong. This is not a new phenomenon. But it's been a while since I remembered this many creating this kind of buzz. And so it's fun to watch, easy to get excited for as a baseball fan and a collector. All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of Hobby Quick Hits. Want to give out our social media, starting with our website, which is www.sportscardnationpodcast.com. Facebook, you can follow us at www.facebook.com/sportscardnationpodcast/ Twitter, we are at SportsCardNati1, so it's SportsCard NATI1. Instagram at SportsCardNationPodcast, or you can email the show hobbyquickhits@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.